Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, you are watching What You Need.
In this game called boxing, a lot of people want to jump on other people and talk about disrespecting the former greats, and I truly understand that. I respect the former greats, and it's important that we give respect to them for what they have done, especially when their careers are over and the phenomenal feats that they have accomplished. But in the same vein, we must respect the current greats that are before us right now. I'm going to give a case in point, Miguel Cotto. People call him a diva, and not just fans. I'm hearing people in the media using the word diva and throwing it around on Miguel Cotto, and I think that's unjustified based on his career, his achievements, his dues that he paid in the sport of boxing, and the position he's in, whereby he can call shots and he can have conditions which are favorable to him. He had the intelligence and the smarts to put himself into that position. First and foremost, we're going to examine Junito's record. 44 fights, 40 wins, 33 by knockout, a 75% knockout ratio. This guy's a killer. But on closer inspection of his career, he didn't just knock out bums. No, my friends. So let's have a look. Began his career back in 2001. He's been 14 years plus in the game of boxing. When you're that seasoned, you do call shots if you put yourself in the position to call shots. He's currently in the middleweight division. Let's look at how his career progressed, and then we're going to talk about a number of achievements this man has had. Now in 2001, early in his career, he's facing guys like Juan Angel Macias, Justin Juku, Carlos Alberto Ramirez, John Brown. And in 2003, this guy's facing Cesar Bazan. Cesar Bazan, for your information, was a former lightweight world champion who had beaten Stevie Johnson and faced Jose Luis Castillo. Now, he didn't just beat Cesar Bazan. He knocked him out in the 11th round. Now, let's keep track of the world champions and former world champions that this guy beat and knocked out. He then went on a little later on in his career to face Victoriano Sosa and Lovemore Endu. These are guys that Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez faced. And then he faced Kelson Pinto for the vacant WBO super lightweight title, and he knocked him out in the 6th round. He would face former super lightweight world champion Randall Bailey, knock him out in the 6th round. We're now talking 2-2. When I say 2-2, I mean 2 world champions or former world champions, 2 being knocked out. Let's keep track. DeMarcus Corley was the next former world champion. He knocked him out in the 5th round. That's 3-3. Ricardo Torres, future super lightweight world champion. He knocked him out in the 7th round, 4-4. Gianluca Branco stopped in the 8th round, former world champion, 5-5. Paulie Malignaggi, he won by unanimous decision, knocked him down in round 2, 6-5. Carlos Quintana retired in the 5th round, former world champion and future world champion, 7-6. Zab Judah, undisputed welterweight champion of the world, former, 8-7, knocked out in the 11th round. Shane Mosley got a unanimous decision win, 9-7. Antonio Margarito beat him. He regained the WBO World Welterweight Championship title from Michael Jennings. Got beaten by Manny Pacquiao 2 fights later. Then moved up to super welterweight and beat Yuri Foreman, 10-8. Yuri Foreman being the WBA World Super Welterweight Champion, knocked him out in the 9th round, 10-8. Ricardo Mayorga, former world champion at welterweight, knocked him out in the 12th round, 11-9. Antonio Margarito, he got revenge on him, 12-10. Lost to Floyd Mayweather, lost to Austin Trout, beat Delvin Rodriguez, faced Sergio Martinez, the middleweight champion of the world, 13-11. And then Daniel Gill, former middleweight champion of the world, 14-12. So he has faced so far 14 world champions, not just the Bum of the Month Club. 14 world champions, knocked out 12 or stopped 12 of them. And he's going to face another former world champion in Saul Canelo Alvarez, and the #1 junior lightweight in the world. Miguel Cotto is the only Puerto Rican fighter to win 4 divisional world championships. He's a 5-time 4 divisional world champion. So Miguel Cotto has made history but he is the third highest pay-per-view star in the world today. He's also his own promotional company owner. He has a stable of fighters under him. He has a clothing line, and he co-promotes with Rock Nation. He left Top Rank. This is when this diva talk started happening. After he left Top Rank, his contract was finished with Top Rank, and he moved to Rock Nation. Now you tell me, with all those accolades, including Miguel Cotto being a sure Hall of Famer, in the eve of his career, because he's 14 years in the business, plus years in the business, almost 15, why shouldn't this guy call shots? Why shouldn't he look out and negotiate with the clout he has for his best interest? Does that make him a diva? Was Sugar Ray Robinson a diva because he calls shots, saying I need to get paid before I fight? Is Floyd Mayweather a diva because he makes sure the terms of agreement match things which he can deal with and live with? Is Manny Pacquiao a diva because his team argues for certain conditions to be met? The A side and the B side has been around forever in boxing. Don't let anybody fool you. The terms and conditions are set by the A side and negotiated. The A side is the one that makes the offer because the A side pulls in the bulk of the money. They're the draw. It's always been around in boxing. So I find it extremely negative and erroneous to say that Miguel Cotto is a diva. Furthermore, in his last fight against Daniel Geale, Miguel Cotto weighed 157 pounds and Daniel Geale weighed 184 pounds. That's 27 pounds heavier than Miguel Cotto. So it absolutely is wrong for people to say that Miguel Cotto should not have provided a catch weight of 157 pounds. It's either they cap the upper limit for Daniel Geale or he fought at a catch weight to even the playing field. Because Miguel Cotto, he never makes 160 pounds these days. He's a small middleweight. People call Gennady Golovkin a small middleweight. Well, he comes into the ring 172, 173 pounds. I listen to people talk about Miguel Cotto. Yeah, I would love to see him face Gennady Golovkin. It's mandatory. I'm not disputing that, because if you're at middleweight, you need to fight middleweights. But at the same time, you can't be saying the man's a diva when the man has done all this work in the sport of boxing and put himself in a position where he could negotiate terms, as he did with Canelo Alvarez, as he did with Daniel Geale, as he did with Sergio Martinez, because he's put himself in that position. I'm here to set that record straight. If you don't think the conditions are conducive, then don't fight the guy. It's that simple. You guys have a great one.